Hey guys, my name is Sam Dean and I'm the owner of CrossFit Van Zandt, CrossFit Van Zandt South, and Van Zandt Coffee Company, located in Canton, Texas, and Athens, Texas. I want to give you a brief summary of my story and why I do what I do. When I was a high school senior in Canton, um, I watched the planes fly into the World Trade Center on 9/11, and it kind of cemented my decision to go to the United States Military Academy at West Point. Uh, one of my friends, his older brother, went to West Point, and I was very impressed by him, and knew that if I were to get accepted, that's where I would want to go. And the United States going to war was all the reason I needed to go, and I went with the goals of I wanted to lead troops in combat, and I wanted to become a ranger, and I was able to do those things. So I graduated, went to West Point, and had a rough time. Like it was very difficult. Not only the military and the physical requirements, but the academic load was incredible. Coming from Canton High School, I really wasn't challenged as some of my friends up there that came from private prep schools and really academically rigorous programs from the country. I felt like I was Forrest Gump compared to those other guys, but I did socially. I was pretty well liked, and I could play music. I played guitar in a band in high school, so I knew how to play guitar, and a lot of my friends didn't. So I always tell this story is one of my best friends from West Point, who went on to be go to Harvard Business School, and he's a brilliant guy. But he tutored me in all of my classes, and I just taught him. I gave him guitar lessons, and we kind of went back and forth and did that. And he's very responsible for me graduating, and I'll never can repay him enough for that. Once I graduated, 4 years later, George W. gave me my diploma on the stage, and then we shipped off to Fort Benning, Georgia. And at Fort Benning is the home of Airborne School, Ranger School, and I went through all that training and graduated. And I was just as happy to graduate Ranger School as I was graduating from West Point. I started it in January of 2007 and graduated in March, and went through winter phase, went through the winter class, through all the different phases, lost a ton of weight. My fingers split open from the exposure to the elements, and I learned a lot about myself in that school, and really about how the mind controls the body and everything. And it's a pure leadership school. There's no rank. It's a really out of body, out of mind experience that shows kind of what you're made of, and I really loved it. And when I left Fort Benning, Ashley and I got married on the way to Fort Hood to meet my first platoon, and I was at Fort Hood for a year. Then they sent me back to Fort Benning to go to reconnaissance school for a month before shipping me off to Afghanistan for a year. In Afghanistan, I was in the Hindu Kush Mountains, which is northeastern Afghanistan, in the Kunar province, which was a very hot, volatile place, and led missions there. I was there for an entire year. It was a hard deployment. We lost soldiers, and lost a lot of friends. And upon returning from that, I became an instructor at Fort Benning for my last couple of years in the Army. Knew I wanted to get out. I'd accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish. And the year of me getting out, we killed bin Laden. And it was kind of a closure for me in my military career, and I got out and moved back home. Upon moving back home, I had an idea for a fitness company because I had, as an officer in the infantry, every morning at 6 a.m. I led all of my soldiers in physical training, or soldiers know it as PT. And I was like, well, I can do this for the general public. So I started Van Zandt Fitness Company in Canton, and started. I was sitting in my facility for days before the first customer came in, and when my first customer came in, I started training, and I started doing the best I could, delivering a great service, and it started to grow. In the meantime, I applied to the Garland Fire Department to actually make enough money to eat. So I became a Garland firefighter, and I was able to buy a house and me and Ashley were able to have a kid, and George, he's going on 4 years old this year. And then all the while still grow my business, which somewhere in there morphed into CrossFit Van Zandt. So I affiliated with CrossFit, which was one of the best decisions I ever made. And we've grown to, we have a brand new state-of-the-art facility in Canton with over 200 members, and we just recently opened up in Athens, Texas, with another great facility. And Athens has 20 plus members at this moment. And if you don't know what CrossFit is, it's basically a fitness program for real life. It's not specializing in any type of sport, but it does functional movements that get you ready to live your life and to prolong your active lifestyle. So it's applicable to any age, any ability level. Like, everyone should do CrossFit. I firmly believe everyone in America should do CrossFit once a day. And CrossFit, all it is it's functional fitness, it changes every day. It's constantly varied, and intensity is what drives fitness. So eventually, when you get ready, after a couple of weeks of doing CrossFit every day, you're ready to start ramping up your intensity, and you can get a great workout in 15 minutes. And it's really a game changer. I'm in better shape now. I'll be 34 this year. I'm in better shape now than I ever was as an athlete or as a soldier. And all I do is the workout of the day once a day. And the way it works is you pay a monthly fee, and you come in and you have a coach for every single class. And at CrossFit Van Zandt, we have 7 classes a day of CrossFit. We have a CrossFit Kids program, we have a boxing program, and we have a yoga program. And for one monthly fee, you get to use it as many times as you want. Whenever you go in a traditional gym setting, whenever you would go, you just paid money for access. And what you pay for at CrossFit Van Zandt is the professional coaching. So whenever you work out at home by yourself, you're really doing about 50% of your capacity, or what you're potentially, what you could do. So you do 50% effort, really. And there's always things that come up. A lot of times you won't finish your workout at home because there's just too much to be done, and there's no accountability. So whenever you have a personal trainer, that moves up to 85% because now you're paying for it, and now you don't want to let that trainer down. However, once you're in a class setting, like a CrossFit setting, and you have a trainer there and peers doing the same workout that you're doing, you cannot help but to go 100% and give optimize your potential on whatever workout it is. So it doesn't matter if you're competitive or not, and everyone at CrossFit Van Zandt's super nice, super encouraging. There's no bad blood or any type of cutthroat competition. In your class, there'll be people that are in their 70s, and then there'll be kids, and then people, throughout the whole range of ability level and age. But everyone does a different degree of the workout. It it varies in degree but not type. Um, so for instance, the foundation of everything is the squat. If you cannot do a full squat all the way down, all the way up without falling over, uh, then your days of getting up out of a chair and out of bed and off the toilet are limited. And when do you go to the nursing home? It's when you can't do that anymore. So why not train that? And so we'll start on that, and then we'll grow from there. And you probably don't understand what true core strength is until you've tried to lift something over your head and then squat with it, or walk on your hands, which I thought was going to be impossible to do until I just one day just started doing them. So it's a progressive program. You're going to have a professional service, and we are probably per capita, as far as the population of Canton, one of the most successful CrossFit gyms in the country. And we were very proud of our business and the service that we provide. And I encourage you to come check it out or look at our website, CrossFitVanZandt.com. Switch gears a little bit. We'd always served coffee in our gym in the mornings. We have a big crowd that comes in the morning. 5:15 a.m. is our first class, and then we have 6 a.m. and then 9 a.m. So we drink a lot of coffee. I'm a huge coffee fan, and one day I went to Oak Cliff Coffee Roasters in Dallas, and I was very impressed by what they were doing. And I talked to the owner, Shannon, and a couple of guys there, and I was like, well, I wonder what it takes to roast coffee beans at my house. So I bought a little bitty coffee roaster that's about the size of a microwave, and I started roasting coffee in my house in Canton, and it turned out pretty damn good. People started liking it, and fast forward a year, we bought this facility in Athens that I'm at right now, and I have a bunch of extra room here. So last summer, Ashley and George and I went to Wyoming and all the national parks and in our Airstream, and we made a pit stop in Idaho where they make these Dietrich coffee roasters. It's where they build them, and they had a 3-day seminar on how to use it and how to basically how to roast coffee. And I took that seminar. We took delivery on our Dietrich in January of this year, and we've been just churning out really great coffee this whole time. And we sell 1 pound bags of coffee to the community, to the CrossFit people, and then to Canton and Athens, and then nationwide, worldwide. Really, I've sent a bunch to the troops overseas, and during the tornado, we were able to set up a coffee stand and give free coffee to the Canton tornado victims on April 29th. And anyway, it's turned out to be a really neat thing. And if you're ever in Athens, you want to come tour the coffee facility and the roaster and watch me roast, you can do that. More than welcome. And if you haven't tried our coffee, VanZandtCoffee.com, you can order it online. Your first bag ships for about $8, but every bag after that ships for $1. And if you live in Canton or Athens, we'll deliver it for free to your home or business. Just order it online or come in, or you can always come to one of our CrossFit gyms and buy it. What the future holds for both businesses, both gyms are going to grow and continue to get better. We're about to open a coffee lounge in Athens where you can come in, get on the internet, and be in a really neat, cool atmosphere and do some work from home or study if you're a student. And we're going to have that in Athens, and then we're going to looking to build a new roast house in Canton within the next couple of years, and that'll be the same deal, but it'll have an art gallery and a live sound stage for bringing the music and the arts to Canton. Something we don't have, something we actually outsourced to Ben Wheeler, which I love Ben Wheeler. However, Canton, Texas needs these things. Thanks for watching my video, and I hope I've shed some light on some of the things you might have had a question about. and I look forward to seeing you soon. Yeah, so have a good day. Bye-bye.